that information came direct from Meghan's ex-husband, Trevor Engelson. The vision board with Prince Harry on it was revealed to her by someone who knew Trevor Engelson.
Narcissist who cannot get enough of herself while she simultaneously plays the victim.
Guys, Trevor Engelson just shattered Meghan Markle's image. Not with a press tour, but through an unexpected intermediary.
Important. She married for money. It's very clear she bagged the elephant.
Her ex-husband, Trevor Engelson, just broke his silence after more than a decade, revealing shocking claims about manipulation, fake pregnancies, and a royal rise that was planned from the start. This isn't a rumor, it's a full-blown unraveling, and the truth isn't coming from tabloids. It's coming from the man who knew her before the crown.
She was thrilled she became a, quote, princess.
Well, you can...
It was planned from the beginning. She denied being interested in the royal family, which she totally was. I know someone who knows the ex-husband who said she had a vision board with Prince Harry on it.
So, here's where the truth slipped through and the unraveling began. After years of being erased from Meghan Markle's story like he never existed, Trevor Engelson finally spoke. Not directly, but through an intermediary. And somehow, that made it even worse. This wasn't a tell-all book, a headline grab, or some bitter ex cashing in. This was calm, deliberate, and brutal. He said just enough to crack the image Meghan spent years polishing. And now the pieces are falling.
Many warnings can you receive? I mean, we obviously know via Tom Bower that Meghan Markle returned her engagement ring to Trevor Engelson via the post.
And let's be honest, Trevor was the one voice she thought was locked away for life. He never gave interviews, never clapped back, never spilled a thing. While Meghan climbed her way from cable drama actress to royal victim and PR goddess, he kept it classy until now. Trevor didn't get a phone call or any explanation, not even a moment of closure. One day, the engagement ring simply arrived in the mail, sealed in a box, as if their relationship had been reduced to a transaction. And for Trevor, that single act said more than any argument ever could. It marked the moment he realized Meghan was no longer the woman he had married. And from that moment on, everything she did started to look like a calculated next step.
Actually, so blatant in terms of the fact that you want this famous royal, and specifically you want Prince Harry. Because you know my reporting on Meghan Markle's early life in London, Angela, made it very clear that she was looking for a celebrity.
And what did he finally say? That Meghan didn't just stumble into royalty, she planned it. Long before Harry ever entered the picture, she had a vision board with his face on it. Literal royal ambition printed out and pinned to her wall like a goal. The second that story broke, Meghan didn't just panic. She lost control. Insiders at Montecito say she stormed into a private meeting, slammed the door behind her, and unleashed a full-blown tirade at her press team. Her fury wasn't about facts, it was about failure. He was supposed to be silenced forever. How did this get out? That wasn't damage control, just raw rage that the image she spent years perfecting was suddenly cracking in public. By midday, her lawyers were already on the offensive. Cease and desist letters went flying to media outlets, warning them not to print another word from Trevor's interview. Behind the scenes, she demanded a gag order, even though there was no NDA in place to back it up. Legal insiders are calling it reckless, because if Trevor's words were false, she could have dismissed them. Instead, she tried to bury them. And that silence she's known for? It's no longer strategic, it's starting to look like panic in slow motion. For someone who built an entire brand around control, this was the one thing she couldn't spin. The moment Trevor's revelations hit the press, Meghan didn't just retreat, she vanished. Canceled appearances, pulled out of events, and according to PR insiders, refused to face a single live audience. Not because she was overwhelmed, because she had no answer ready. She knew the first question wouldn't be about her brand or her projects. It would be about Trevor, and she had nothing rehearsed for that. Public reaction flipped overnight. The same people who once praised her resilience were suddenly rewatching her interviews with suspicion. Her Netflix documentaries, her podcast sound bites, even the Oprah tears, all of it was getting dissected under a new light. Not empowering or authentic, just calculated. A perfectly curated narrative now under forensic-level scrutiny.
Please, I'm begging you to stop.
I knew her a bit before she met Harry. She was nothing like that. She didn't speak like that. Her mannerisms weren't like that. This is all fake.
You just can't keep faking it. It's too hard.
And it wasn't just the media. Even her most loyal supporters, the ones who defended her every move, started asking questions. Not because of some royal conspiracy, but because this time the source wasn't the palace. It was someone who had lived through the version of Meghan the public was never supposed to meet, and that made the cracks impossible to ignore. But just as people were starting to question the narrative, Trevor added something that flipped the script entirely. Not about what Meghan did, but how she did it.
There isn't a tear in sight. It's an actor's trick.
Don't make yourself cry. Oh, I can do that so well. Oh my God, it's crazy.
According to Trevor, one of Meghan's most practiced skills wasn't charm or ambition, it was emotional control. During their marriage, he says she had an uncanny ability to cry on cue. Not when she was hurt, not when something truly broke her, but when she needed to shift blame, shut down accountability, or flip the power dynamic in her favor. He described it as performance, a rehearsed, deliberate tactic that turned every disagreement into a one-woman drama.
He's very vulnerable, and you can see that he's yearning to get married. He told me that he really wanted children, but, the time hasn't come yet, but he really wants to be a father because he loves being with children.
And just when it looked like things couldn't get any worse, the most explosive claim dropped.
Trevor Engelson's Meghan's first husband previously had this operation, which would mean, of course, that she was unable to give birth to a child herself.
Trevor revealed that Meghan had undergone a medical procedure during their marriage that would have made natural childbirth impossible. That one detail didn't just raise eyebrows, it reignited years of speculation the press had been too scared to touch. Suddenly, every photo, every public appearance during her pregnancies was being re-examined, and the internet wasn't being subtle about it.
When the song come on, let me see you get gone. Baby mama, this shit song been pregnant for way too long. Let's tell the DJ turn it up.
The bump that folded, the belly that moved, the infamous hand-cradling pose that never stopped. And now, the resurfaced video of Meghan twerking while allegedly pregnant with Lilibet, all of it looked less like coincidence and more like choreography. And here's the part that shook people the most. Trevor wasn't guessing. He was there. He lived with her. He knew her before the palace filters and the royal titles. And when he says something doesn't add up, people listen. Because this wasn't just a headline. This was a direct hit on the one role Meghan never thought anyone would question. Being a mother. Can you believe? While Meghan was spiraling behind closed doors, Prince Harry wasn't defending her. He was disappearing. Insiders say he's been spending more time alone, quietly pulling away inside their Montecito mansion. And for a couple that built their brand on being inseparable, that silence says more than any statement could. Sources close to the situation claim Harry is exhausted, not just with the media or pressure, but with Meghan. Every time the headlines begin to fade, something new erupts. And this time, it's not about the press or the palace. It's about her past, something even he can't control, spin, or clean up. And reportedly, he's told her to stop blaming the royals for every single mess, which is exactly what she did the moment Trevor's story hit. That's the part no one expected, not the chaos, but the growing silence from the one person who always had her back. And when even Harry starts stepping away, it's not just a personal shift. It's a public signal. Because once the marriage starts looking fragile, the entire narrative begins to lose its grip. While Harry stepped back quietly, Meghan faced something she couldn't spin. Trevor's claims were now being echoed by palace insiders. Staff reportedly saw the same emotional manipulation and narrative control he described long before it ever made headlines. This wasn't just an ex speaking out. It was a pattern others had already recognized, and that made it impossible to ignore.
Meghan Markle really did expect Harry to be a billionaire when she met him. She was incredibly disappointed to find out he's only worth a couple million, and she's gonna have to actually work and hawk these jams and jellies and dog biscuits to have the lifestyle that she wants.
Honestly, almost from day one, the palace saw it coming. According to a royal biographer with direct access to the Queen's inner circle, Meghan wasn't seen as a partner, she was seen as a calculated player. Behind closed doors, senior royals reportedly warned that she was chasing status, not family. They described her as strategic, image-obsessed, and emotionally manipulative. And now, with Trevor backing that same pattern, it's no longer speculation, it's confirmation. Just when Meghan thought the damage was under control, a new problem showed up. Trevor might not be finished talking. People close to him say he held back the worst parts of their story. But now he's thinking about telling everything, maybe in a second interview, maybe in a book. And with no legal agreement to stop him, Meghan can't do much about it. Her lawyers are rushing to block whatever's coming next, but the truth is already out of her hands. And what really stings? Trevor isn't shouting. He's not even angry. He's just being honest, and that honesty is doing more damage than any tabloid ever could.
Trevor Engelson, who until this point has kept a total dignified silence, despite the fact that Meghan treated him so appallingly, even sending back their engagement ring.
Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about Trevor speaking out, it's about the entire illusion falling apart. The stories don't feel like attacks anymore. They feel like puzzle pieces finally clicking into place. And Meghan? She's no longer controlling the narrative. She's watching it unravel. Quietly, powerlessly, publicly. And if Trevor really is holding back more, then what's already surfaced isn't the full story. It's just the first crack in a royal illusion that's finally starting to shatter. If even the people who loved her are now exposing the truth, then what part of Meghan's story was ever real to begin with? Hit subscribe, because the next revelation might just be the one she can't recover from.